But thank you all for taking time out of your night to come and spend some time with us. And those of you who have just joined, if you haven't yet, in the chat, make sure it says host and panelist, and let us know who you are, where you're from, and what you're looking for tonight. And then once we get going, please feel free to ask questions throughout. We'll do our best to answer those as we go. Okay, I have it ready to go, so I'll share the screen, but I'm going to move it over here, actually, and present this way. Okay, so for those of you that do not know me, my name is Kara Welke. I am an occupational therapist of 21 plus years, and I've worked in all areas of practice, but my passion has always been working with older adults. And we were just joking about being an entrepreneur the other day. My husband and I were talking because he's one of those that he doesn't want to deal with anything. He loves going to work, seeing his clients, and coming home. He's a psychologist and has actually thought about or had been approached about starting his own clinic and so forth. And he's like, nope, I just like to go to work, do my thing. And he's like, you've been an entrepreneur since you were a kid riding bikes down the gravel road in South Dakota. And that's true. I don't know if any of you guys remember way back in the day, anybody that's my age, there was this program where you could sell Christmas cards, wrapping paper and stuff. I don't know. But anyways, I grew up on a farm outside of a town of 80. So I would ride my bike around like miles at a time to people's houses selling Christmas cards and wrapping paper for money. That's how my entrepreneurship started. And then through the years, yeah, I've done everything. Pampered Chef, Tupperware, all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't until I decided to start my practice that I came up on my true love of actually doing what I love to do every day and helping older adults age in place. So I've had my practice about 3 years, and we have continued to grow. I have a full-time occupational therapist, and she's going to have a baby any day. Everyone do a prayer that she doesn't have it until this weekend, because my OT that's taking over for her doesn't start till next Monday. So, and I have 3 other OT independent contractors. I have a full-time, pretty much 2 full-time PTs and 2 other PT independent contractors. And that just reminds me, I forgot to call another PT. So things can grow depending on how you want your practice to be. You can be a one-person show, which I thought I would be, or you can grow and bring on other people as well. So in my practice, we kind of do it all. I mean, we do everything from dementia, skills to care certified, love that program, to, Parkinson's wellness recovery. Hey, thanks for stealing the show, Sue. Come on. Parkinson's wellness recovery program, and some other Parkinson's programs we love to do. And then we do some home mods as well. Not as much as Sue does, but we're looking at continuing to increase that as well. And my favorite thing I do is help occupational therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapy assistants, and physical therapy assistants start and build their own practice. We have several dozens all across the United States, several of you in here that have started their practice with the help of our programs. So that is us, and I'll be quiet and we will get started. So objectives are for you to understand why there is a huge need for occupational therapy professionals and aging in place. And if there's PTs, other professionals in here, great. We will touch a little bit more on why occupational therapy professionals really fit the bill. For you to gain a glimpse at why occupational therapy professionals are well suited for this type of practice, to understand why home assessments and modifications can be billed to insurance versus private pay, to learn why you cannot just stop calling yourself an occupational therapist or occupational therapy assistant. So those are some of our main objectives, and hopefully, we'll cover even more than that. And again, let us know what questions you have as we go. So I will add, and this is a little off topic, but it still shows on the growing need in our area right now. The older adults are having a huge problem just finding the support to stay at home. I mean, we're one piece of the puzzle, but if they want like a non-medical, company or like a caregiver coming in, it's really hard to come by because all the non-medical home care companies they're full and they can't get new people in place. So it's just the whole aging in place market is just going to continue to grow and grow and grow. And the need to help these people stay in their home as much as possible is just going to continue to grow. Other thing that goes along with this, again, a bit off topic, I tend to do that, is the people that are doing building as well as remodels for older adults aren't necessarily thinking about the best interests. So I'll give you a personal example. My parents, 74, 75 years old, just had their bathroom remodeled, and I gave the specific instructions on everything that needed to be done. And I mean, this bathroom is absolutely gorgeous, and I can't even imagine the amount of money that was spent on this, but it is absolutely awful for anyone aging in place. I mean, I'm just waiting for a call for a fall out of the bathtub or into the shower and so forth. So not only can our housing stock not support it, but some of the people out there that are doing these modifications for the older population are not thinking ahead to help support these people have not only a beautiful bathroom, but also an accessible one for many years to come. That study on not just psychological, but there's that study out that you had found on improving cognitive levels as well. And we actually have another webinar that we've done that we highlight several studies just on occupational therapy and why it's important in the studies showcasing occupational therapy. If you, just curious, do you guys see a lot of remodels that are actually not done appropriately or correctly? What kind of things are you guys seeing when you're going out there? Sue was with her, what she was just talking about, going into a couple of her homes reminds me, on Monday, I went to see a client, and the wife was telling me that they're going to get their bathroom remodeled and they're going to have a walk-in shower and so forth. But the doorway to the bathroom isn't accessible. I mean, it's not big enough for him to get through. And the people that had gone out there had not even thought to address that simple component. So I don't know, sometimes people miss the boat on things. So comment in the chat section if you guys have seen anything out there like that, just so we can kind of see what you're hearing. So yeah, Maddie said she went into a brand new retirement community that has completely inaccessible bathrooms, and the doors to the clubhouse are impossible for anyone in wheelchair to manage. And I think that's a whole nother area that is huge, is people are building these retirement communities, independent living facilities, nursing homes, places designed for 55 plus, and they're not accessible, and some of them can't be made accessible. Like we have a 55 plus place, and in the showers, they can't put grab bars in the showers because of the fiberglass and how much space is in there and so forth. There's not a safe way to install it. So yeah, great. Thank you for sharing the information. Bree said Maine has the oldest housing stock in the nation, and usually newly installed grab bars are at the wrong kind in the wrong place. Installers don't install curbless showers. Sarah said, this just happened to me. Expensive bathroom remodel without access to shower via wheelchair. Yeah, I mean, the things we see out there is crazy. So this is such a huge area for us to get in, and the sooner the better. So important. If you guys rely on what you hear and see in Facebook, social media, even from your friends that you know that have started their business, that can lead you down the wrong path. I mean, it happened to me when I started my practice. I saw everyone doing private pay, cash-based OT. That's what I was going to do until I heard that, you know, we can't opt out of Medicare, and why can't we do that, and so forth. So you really need to, if you're going to spend all of your time and energy and money in building this business, just do it the right way so you have that solid foundation to build your business upon. Well, I'm just going to pose this question here. So my question to everyone is, why would you want to opt out? Why would you not want to bill Medicare for services that are not covered? Why would you want to let your license expire? What are some of those reasons why? I mean, I'm not saying that I wasn't there, you know, a while ago. I'm just wondering what you guys are thinking. To get Medicare credentialed, like therapists in our therapy business builder program, Jane, it just says the process is not that hard. They're getting credentialed in less than a week. You know, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to try to go at all of this alone, it's going to be a nightmare. But if you want to surround yourself with a team of therapists that are doing this across the United States or in your areas, or finding a network to help you, it's going to be a lot easier. You know, I mean, I get anxiety knowing that I know all the rules with what all I need to do on my end. 100%, that was me 3 years ago when I started my practice. Now that I have a community of therapists doing the same thing and we're there to support each other, that really helps. So you need to have a support team to do this. I always tell people, look at businesses. A lot of them are more than one person. They have that support system. So these therapists that are trying to go and do this all on their own do struggle. So if you can find a support system to help you with this, that's really helpful. We have a question, Sue. Do you need to get Medicare number for all the HMOs, or just one number from traditional Medicare? We actually recommend for therapists in our therapy business builder program just to start with Medicare, traditional Medicare, and then out of network and cash pay to start with. And that's all I did for the first couple years of my practice. It wasn't until later that I started getting in network with a few other insurances. And a big misconception is that you need to be credentialed with all the secondaries and things like that. And that's not the case as well. We have a question. Someone wants to do remote consulting, which is not covered by Medicare and crosses state lines. Well, and again, there's issues that come into place there because, you know, you're practicing as a therapist, and if you're not licensed in the state that you're consulting to, there's issues there as well. Partnering with home health care agencies. So in my business, we actually contract with 2 different home health care agencies. But again, I mean, that's kind of a whole different ball game. Like home mods through home health agencies, and that's kind of tough. But anyways, we do partner with home health agencies in my business. And one of them is great about transitioning on to Medicare Part B and so forth. And let's see. How do you separate consulting from a skilled service? We had a question that Jennifer has I mean, this is very good. She says that I do have Medicare approved and believe in following the rules and regs. However, we should be paid more for our services, especially the time required for a quality assessment and intervention, which is 100% true. But it's also important to make sure that you delineate wisely what could be cash private, what could be charged by insurance, because we're finding people are having trouble with that, and there are some things that you could be paid privately for, and people aren't taking advantage of that. So, I mean, say George calls me and his parents are going to be doing a remodel at their house, but they're functioning great. They have no physical limitations, but they just are planning ahead and want to make sure that, you know, what they're doing is good. I mean, that's a great private pay. If they don't have any medical need, medical necessity, things like that, you're going in there to do a home assessment and making recommendations for keeping that environment, or making that environment accessible so they can age in place. That would be a great situation for private pay. But if you go into a home and this person, you know, has Parkinson's and they're struggling getting in and out of the tub, they're wanting recommendations for how to improve this, then there's a skilled and medically necessary need for why we need to make those recommendations. And I know in this situation, like this person has physical limitations, so they just want to be able to do what they can and refer on. So again, you would need to establish a good partner to refer on, or you would hire someone to do that part of the puzzle, I guess. So the other thing to point out is you honestly don't know until you do more digging if the person is going to be skilled and medically necessary. I mean, there's instances where you go out and you think it might be a private pay situation, but you find out this person can't even, you know, get up out of their chair. They can't make it through their bathroom, things like that. So there are situations that come into place like that as well. So for what we're doing, like our businesses, we're Medicare or therapists in private practice, and we bill under Medicare Part B, and we do not, it's totally different than home health documentation, OASIS, and so forth. That's Medicare A. What we're doing is Medicare Part B. Sorry if you answered. One of the contractors and designers that we did a video with, he's in the process of doing a new plan for someone that wants to redesign their parents' place. So hopefully we'll get some more videos to add in.